What's up, y'all? This is the story of Loco part 2. If you missed the first one, it was really popular. I'm still kind of blown away at the feedback from that. So check it out. It was about going from drug addict to Marine. This one is going from Marine to coach. So this is the transition of how I started CrossFit and how I started other people CrossFit. And at this point, it was solely CrossFit. All the other things that we do at Loco, I hadn't put all those pieces together in my brain yet. So when I joined the Marine Corps, one of my first gunnery sergeants, Gunny Arietta, was actively doing CrossFit at that point. He had come over from the West Coast, and CrossFit, if you aren't familiar, initiated out in Santa Cruz, California. So it was much more popular out west, and it sort of slowly trickled its way east. Well, Gunny A, while I was at school in Pensacola, Florida, learning how to fix airplanes or work on electronics, had us do a ton of physical training. He was known as the guy that just smoked all of us in a million different ways. One day, he had us all walk out to the pull-up bar and said, okay, we're gonna do this CrossFit workout. It's called Cindy. And I'm with a platoon of like 50 other Marines, and we are in our boots and utes, so in uniform with boots on and cami pants and green t-shirt, all that. And we do this workout called Cindy, which is 20 minutes of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and 15 air squats, and you just keep doing that. Well, we finished that workout, and we're with a bunch of alpha male dudes that are trying to prove to one another how badass they are. And we all wound up on our backs just dead at the end of that workout. Mind you, we were all really fit. So I was like, what the hell was that? And I went to Gunny A and I started talking to him about CrossFit, and he turned me on to CrossFit.com, or what's known as the main site. And I started digging in, and I started watching the CrossFit Journal and reading the CrossFit Journal and listening to Greg Glassman, the founder of CrossFit, in everything and anything. And the methodology just made so much sense to me. So after I started digging, I started implementing it myself. I started going to the gym on base. There was no CrossFit style anything. Back then, this was before Rogue Fitness existed. There was no equipment. We were putting sand in basketballs for medicine balls, building pull-up rigs out of 4 inch by 4 inch, 4x4 into the ground and putting a piece of pipe in between it. Those were some good days. But it was the very beginning of what turned out to be something that I became so passionate about that I knew that I needed to start to share it with other people. So fast forward maybe a year from that point, and the Marine Corps was actively sending people to go get their CrossFit Level 1 certification so that they could bring it back to the units and make sure that people were doing CrossFit the right way, because it was very clear that CrossFit was superior to the calisthenics that we were doing, but the injury rates were also higher from people that were doing it without a coach in a setting that they had no clue what they were doing, and again, with a bunch of alpha males trying to do more than they should be doing. So I was able to get my CrossFit certification and come back to base, and then at that point set up sort of a functional fitness area. So it was an old racquetball court, and we got a bunch of equipment in there. We got a pull-up rig in there. This was the very beginning of Rogue, so like everything that you need, pull-up bars, barbells, bumper plates, all of that stuff, we were able to get. Being in the military, they, I think, gave us a lot of it. It was really awesome. And I started to just teach people how to do CrossFit, how to safely move, how to be efficient in their movement. And very quickly, we started to build a base of people that were coming to the base on gym, to this little functional fitness, this little CrossFit room where we could get after it together. And I fell in love, like immediately, coaching other people. I'll never forget getting people their first kipping pull-ups, or the first time I taught someone to squat over 400 pounds. Like, these were big markers for me, and I loved it. And I knew then and there that that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And that is how I started coaching other people in the Marine Corps. Next time, we'll talk about leaving the Marine Corps and coaching at a gym in Charleston.